Hey, get there, guys. This is part two with my interview with Zigg, the artist. We actually had a little bit of technical difficulties, but once he comes back into the room, I'll invite him to the cam and we'll finish the interview. Hey, okay. I think I might.
There we go. I'm like,
Hey,
oh,
that's fine. We were talking about you doing classical piano. I used to love a lot of classical music when I was younger, when I was a kid.
mhm.
But you play the piano. Wow,
Yep.
that's what
So,
I mentioned what to do.
yep, and that's pretty much how it started. I started off making beats and stuff. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. So, I was sitting there one day and I was having trouble with like reading these notes, and like it just hit me. I'm just like, yo, why am I sitting here playing other people's music? I should just be making my own music. And literally, I threw the book away. And I literally just started making beats and started making my own song literally from there. Because it got to a point I'm just like, yo, I'm frustrated. I'm trying to learn somebody else's music when I can create my own. And yeah.
So you also compose your own music?
No, I don't write the notes no more. No, I just make the beats now. It's way simpler.
I mean, well, produce.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you
yeah.
make all your own music?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything that you hear
Oh,
is
wow.
literally every beat, every recording. Literally, I do it myself. Literally.
Wow. And this is from your home studio, right?
Yeah, like for the most part recently, since the pandemic happened, but I still go to the studio and stuff. I go to 1122 and record there sometimes. But for the most part, everything happens in the home.
Wow. And this is some good quality sound and stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know the difference. Sounds
Yeah.
really good. Wow. Do you have any up and coming performances?
Actually, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why. And this is an exclusive. I'm actually working on a movie right now. I just signed production contract.
Yeah, congrats. I did see this right.
Yeah, so I'm working on a movie right now, and I took myself basically off the schedule of everything, kind of laying low, and then I'm gonna just hit everybody with new music, new merch, a movie, a tour, literally everything all at once. So yeah,
Wow, that's great. So congrats on you landing that part in the movie.
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to ask any more detailed questions about
No,
that.
no, no. I can give you a little bit. I can give you a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I just think because I'll be asking questions and I
no,
just don't know.
no, it's my so about the movie. It's my movie. I'm playing myself. Pretty much
Oh,
it piggybacks off of my album Toxic. The movie is called Too Toxic. Um, and it's basically like a hip hop black love story.
oh, I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
I can give you all that information, but yeah.
Okay, so it's like a God, what do they call it? It's like a documentary, but it's a bio. It's like a bio.
No, not so much a bio or documentary, but it is based on
Mhm.
a real story, based on like my previous relationship.
Oh,
Um,
okay,
but I mean, yeah, it's like not so much a documentary.
okay.
Um, it's definitely gonna be dope. Is what I can say. It's gonna be a lot of new music in there. Um, yeah, that's me pretty much
Wow.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So, when will you be like? Do you think you'll be done like of the movie? Or you don't really know yet right now.
I don't know the exact date of being
Okay.
done. We have a meeting on Friday to sit down and finalize the script. We've been working on the script for the last 2 months. Yeah, we finalized the script Friday. Then we're gonna go get into some casting calls and things like that. Hopefully, we start shooting next month because I'm super excited for it. But I don't know what's going to be exactly.
So this is your first time doing a movie?
Myself, like actually being a main character. I've done like short films and stuff like that, appearances,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that. But this is me actually going in. Yeah, my first time actually going in.
So I'm guessing when we look at your as we look at your Instagram profile or your social media profiles, we'll be getting like more information as it goes by about like when
Yeah,
it's coming out, what it will be on and stuff.
I'll do like behind the scenes. I was just thinking of this yesterday, so I'm thinking that I'm going to do like a behind the scenes vlogs and stuff like that, and then post that. Just to show like the back production of it, but it's not gonna be too much of what's coming out. But I don't know yet. Like I don't know yet. But
You don't know
I
yet, but
know
you're
I'm gonna
excited.
do like
Mhm.
back scene vlogs though.
Wow, wow. Um, is it really hard? So I'm always like interested about asking about like how people do videos and short films and movies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Is it really hard to make a movie as an artist, or is it hard to make a video? Is it very costly?
So far as the movie, if you want it to be right, it's costly. So it's one that I'm looking at. It's a little costly, not too crazy, but I'm investing in a lot in it. Um, but as far as like videos and things like that, nah, I mean, once I can't say no because I've been doing it for a long time. But once
Okay.
you get the
Mhm.
groove of everything, and this all goes back to being yourself, like being an artist and being yourself, it happens naturally. So once the camera come on, if you're yourself and you believe in your music and you love your music, everything else is easy. Yeah.
Great, great. Right. So at this moment, do you work with any or do you work with any organizations?
As far as like musically, I work with Cab, Cab 1122. That's
Hmm.
yeah, that's pretty much all who I work with. Yeah, I
Okay.
work with Cab a lot. I'm one of the artists that he managed, but he don't really need to do much. I'm here,
You
man.
be doing it yourself, right?
Yeah, I can handle my.
Isn't that the number one rule, like when being an artist or being in music, is that you have to be very proactive.
Yes.
That's a self-starter.
So my first manager always told me. He always used to say, "You need to learn how to be your own manager." That was like his advice. And I mean, I know me and him fell off, but hearing that made me realize and made me do everything that I'm doing today. And I'm able to do a lot of stuff. Um, and I know the business, so it just piggybacking off of that and working with Cat. I'm just in the background and I watch his moves, so I'm just picking his brain all the time. I'm looking around and seeing, how business works and things like that. So it does get you do have to be very proactive. Okay, that's another thing for artists. I would say too. For upcoming artists, you have to learn how to be your own manager. Because once
Mm,
you do that, nothing can stop.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And you know something that's really interesting is that when I've done quite a few interviews with a lot of independent artists and also some mainstream artists as well.
Hmm.
Um, they have a lot of insight on what's going on with the music business and what's going on behind the scenes.
Hmm.
And that it's really important so that artists see that. I'm really, really big on that. And
Yeah.
I also think that our city and cities all around should be donating and giving grants to more artists.
Man, that would be so dope. That would
I'm really trying to get that going. I really, really want that's one of the big things. This is one of the things why I started this Indie Spotlight Philly, why I started it.
right. Well, it's who does that? They kind of do it. Rec Philly. You ever heard
Sorry, say
of
that again.
Rec Philly?
Rec Philly, you said?
Yeah. You ever heard of them, Rec Philly?
No, I'm gonna have to get out. I have to look at that.
Yeah, so Rec Philly kind of does that. They have programs and stuff like that. And I know they were giving away, like, they were donating money to certain, like, videographers, to create a project and stuff like that. To give them money to create a certain project so you can apply for that. I know they were doing something like that, but man, that would be so big if they did, like, had grants for independent artists. That would be so big.
So if I'm hopefully, so if anybody out there in the music industry or music business is watching, happen to watch this interview, I hope that you do donate to artists like Zigg.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like artists like Zigg, and also more Philadelphia, Pennsylvania artists, because the thing is that when I look at the tri-state area, I'm seeing so many artists come out of Philadelphia, PA,
Hmm.
and New York and other places. But I look at like how many like kind of like rap or hip hop artists that come from like those two states, and it's just big. It's just a lot, and I'm like, why aren't we giving back to enough of this?
And
So we
and,
should.
there, and there's a lot of artists that are dope that goes like unseen. Like it's just like there.
Yeah,
But I think that happens because a lot of artists do come out of the city, so it's like a competitive thing where,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
it's kind of bad because I'm one of the artists that like pull up, but a lot of artists say like, oh well, you rap, well I'm not gonna do you do that, and I do that as well. So like it's like a competition thing. But me, I don't take it as a competition because I see other cities that have a lot of artists in like a little section and they all pull each other up and then they're all winning at the same time. So I feel as though we can do that as well. And still have that competitive nature as well, but Philly is different. Philly is
It's different. Okay, so we probably can talk about this. We probably can talk about that a lot.
yeah,
But
Philly is different.
I notice it's just a lot of talented people from Philadelphia,
Yes.
Pennsylvania. A lot of them, and they're just, and I think that a lot of times too, like when I look at the music industry, a lot of everybody's thinking that they can do everything, and I think it's more about a collective and a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like and we have our strengths and our weaknesses of what we really really can do, and then some things that we really really can't do.
Yeah.
And now we're in a culture where the industry is making the artists do a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're doing like so much stuff, right? Like you're managing and you're making this and you're making your music, and
Yeah.
that's really a lot of stuff to
Social
manage.
media itself is hard. It's a job. I always tell people social media is a job itself. And like
Yeah.
and without that now it's impossible to approach any company or any label if your social media is not up to par. Like it's impossible. Like like even with the traction I get, I still if they look at just my social media, I still don't have enough to even approach a label. And that's crazy in itself. But yeah.
I
It's
think you're not. I don't think you're really, really far from that, though.
I
You.
don't I don't I don't know, man. I'm hard on myself, man. I'm hard on myself. I'm hard on myself. I'm
Well, isn't that every artist though? I'm extremely hard on myself
yeah.
too, to the point where people be like, "Are you okay?" And you know, like if you're hard on yourself, then like what is it like those diamonds don't think rocks don't become diamonds until they're under a lot of pressure.
A lot of
That's the industry. Like the
real.
industry is like a lot of pressure, and if you can manage that, then I think that
Yeah.
you're setting your mind up good.
That's true. For real. No, for real, for real.
So due to all the things that happened with COVID, the lives we lost, the pandemic, what it did to live entertainment and music itself. Right, and I know that there's a lot of live gig workers and stuff like that make money off their gigs. Where do you see the future of live events and like performing and stuff?
Oh, like live. Oh, it's coming back.
Okay.
I just feel like so. I was watching your interview with Kev, and when he was saying
Oh,
we never stop, like literally we never stop. Like 11/22, we never stop. We actually have a couple albums that I'm still mad at Kev for not putting out, but that's another conversation. We never stopped. We were still like Atlanta wasn't closed, so we would hit up Atlanta a lot during the pandemic. But I feel as though live music and live content and stuff is about to hit an all-time high because of the simple fact that people had a break. So now everybody's itching to get back out and get those vibes back. So I feel as though it's about the sky for everybody, for mainstream artists, for upcoming artists. I think it's about to hit it'll hit a all-time high.
Definitely, definitely. And I hope a lot of people will go see as many independent concerts as
Yeah.
they're seeing mainstream concerts because you've missed music so much.
Yes.
So you will be given a chance to everything,
Yeah.
you know,
I
so
go,
that
I go to a
everybody
lot
can
of
get a chance.
independent. I go to way more independent concerts and upcoming concerts, like way more. Even if I'm not
Yeah,
performing, I just like being in the atmosphere.
yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And I also want to add something. I also want to tell like a lot of people or the supporters and the viewers also. It is a difference when you have been a complete 100% independent artist. I know a lot of people think like independent artists is, but if you was once a part of a large entity and then you turn into an independent artist, you still have a mainstream portfolio.
Yep.
Being independent or like you've been an independent artist completely,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and to have what you have or to have everything that you work for, it's something to be said about it and it's different.
Yeah, it's way different.
It's
Yeah,
different.
way different.
It is different. It's hard to do.
A long journey.
How many albums or EPs or LPs have you made?
Officially, or like all together stuff that people didn't hear and all of that. Which one?
I don't. I guess I don't know if this is a two-part question now.
I'll do both. So officially, let me see. Let me see. Officially, let's see. We're talking mixtapes and stuff too, right?
Yeah, it must be
Okay.
a big number because
Okay. So let me see. I gotta think. That, 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 that. Uh, damn. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I got it. So we got Two Faces, Before the Fame, mixtape season. Uh, it was epic. Epic. It was. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening too. Um, and then the stuff now. So Black Casablanca Boulevard. So 10. 10 that's official. 10 that's official. That's actually that was put out on platforms. But it was I can't expect the number of stuff that I haven't even out. So yeah, I would say just yeah.
that's wow. You know, as me being an artist, I never been like been able to like I can make music, but I never have produced, been able to
Dude,
come up with that much, to come up with that big of a catalog or that much music.
I've been doing it for a while, and like every year I try to give a project. That's what I've been doing for the last years.
Hmm.
That's why it's so hard for me right now to fall back and not music and work on this movie. Like it's killing me. Like it's literally killing me. Like I have a whole nother album after I dropped my last album not too long ago, but I have to chill. Like I've been told like by my parents and everybody, oh, you're dropping too much music and you're not letting it breathe. And I'm a workhorse when it comes to that because I literally I don't do nothing but make music. Like literally, that's all I do. I
Okay, so this is your 20. This is you. So this is your complete job.
I work for a medical company. I work around.
So you working a 9 to 5 and you dropping 10 plus albums and mixtapes on top of that, and then you got another album after this album.
Yep, I literally I don't go after work. I really don't go out like I don't really have
Hmm.
too many friends. And if I do go out, I'm going to the studio or I'm going to a show. Like that's my free time. Of course, other than being a parent and stuff like that. But
Oh, you have a little one? You have
yeah,
children?
yep, I have a son. He's 6.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll say this: if it wasn't for him, y'all probably wouldn't know me because once he was born, that's when I literally started turning up. And, okay, I gotta get this down. I gotta learn this. I gotta learn that to do this. I have to do this because this is what I want to do. I'm just glad I'm making enough money to actually provide like my music and pay bills off my music. It's like a dream, and I'm actually happy to live that dream. But yeah, still working 9 to 5. It gets in a way sometimes of sleep That I say sleep, but I mean, I'll rap.
Okay, so okay, so it's also a question. If you had a chance to work with any artist, who would you want to work with?
Lil Wayne and Tory Lanez. They are my two.
Oh my, I'm sorry. I'm so happy that you said Tory Lanez
Mhm.
because I think that would be like
Yeah, that's
really, really, really good. Okay, cool. Because I'm just like good. Because like when I listen to a lot of Tory Lanez. Actually, I really, really like a lot of his stuff.
Mhm.
And I'll be like, I just be like, I don't know if he rapping. Like one day he dropped. Like I was looking at him on I think it was Funk Master Flex,
Oh, yeah,
and he was freestyling to Uchi Wally by Nas, and I was just
I know
like
exactly.
this is
Kill that.
monumental. I was like,
Kill
and then you dropped it. Then you gave us sexy like melodic tones. Like
hmm
what was the song? So one day or whatever.
hmm
And I'm just like, you just like got you just doing it. You doing all that stuff. You doing everything. So
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's definitely an inspiration to me. And it's so crazy because the stuff that he's doing is not like I've been doing the same type music, singing and rapping both together, um, for like since I started. Like I wanted to be an R&B artist. I just can't sing like Brian McKnight. But uh, yeah, he's definitely an inspiration. But I think people like Drake and Kanye opened up the doors for like artists like myself and Tory. So if I could him, so
They're like so like when I do listen to people like Tory Lanez or Ty Dolla Sign
mhm.
or Young Thug or Young Blue or something like that, it is a lot of like when they rap, it does have a really melodic music and stuff to it. And also, I listen to a lot of Don Toliver.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so like yeah, it does have like that. It got like both in it. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, dang, like
It's a new wave of music. I think
yeah.
I love it because it gave me a chance to be myself. Like when I first
Hmm.
rapping, it was more so battle rap, hardcore gangster rapping. Like I never sold a drug. I never killed nobody. I don't. Like, I can't. It was hard for me to maneuver in music because uh,
Hmm.
the way music was going. But I'm glad that everything that's happening now it happened. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, the melodic rap. I actually think that's a genre. I think it's actually an official.
It is a genre. I mean, because I listen to all this, I'm just like, why? I was like, so I'm listening to what was that song? I think I was listening to like No Surprise, and I'm just like, was Young Thug singing?
Yeah,
Like he's giving me some blues chords.
yeah,
And as me being me being a singer, I'm like, those are blues chords, and that's what makes it so like
yes, yeah,
tempting and catchy and tempting. Um, so this I think that those are two really good artists, Lil Wayne and Tory Lanez,
yeah.
that you would collaborate with. And so this is normally the time in the interview when I asked if the artist has any questions that they would like to ask me. If they do, if they don't, it's fine too.
What made you? What made you do everything that you do now? Art, artists and reaching, blog and that.
Yeah. So like I graduated from community college in Philadelphia in 2018 with the vocal performance degree.
Ooh,
Um, yeah.
that's dope.
And yeah, so then I go and audition for three colleges, Westchester, U of A, and Temple University. I get in all three of them, but I decided to take Temple University, and I went in as music ed, and and then I quickly switch over the jazz vocal performance major. I stayed there for about 2 to 3 semesters, or 2.5 to 3 semesters, and then I left to pursue my music degree. But in the middle of that, I was told I was going to be signed to a record label. And after working on some music for about 10 to 9 months, I was told that they didn't want me. They accepted everyone that I first went in with except for me.
Mm.
So then I said, I had to deal with that, and I think that artists go through a different kind of depression and anxiety when you're putting everything, blood, sweat, tears, money, time,
Mm.
and all that into your music, and it doesn't do, or you don't get something that you were supposed to get, or it doesn't do something that you do.
Right.
And after that, a lot of stuff. Then I had a few things. A few family members passed away in 2020 and 2021.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And I say, how come I'm not seeing all these people that I follow in videos I look at every day? No one's interviewing them. Not the influencers, not the comedians, not the singers, not the rappers, not the people in between.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, these artists need to be seen. People need to actually see them. And I want to hear, they teach me actually as I'm listening to you and talk to you, they need to be seen and I need to put a spotlight on them.
Yeah.
So that's why I came with that. I hope to make it, I hope for it to be more, because behind the scenes stuff is really essential to everyone's career.
Right. Now, it's definitely going to happen for you. You know why? Because you already went through something where it shot you down. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The easiest thing for you to do around that time was to just like, oh, all right, let me try something new. But you're still in the field, still working at it. Those are the people that make it. Those are the people that strive in the industry. So what you're doing now, doing what you're doing, because like I said before, this doesn't happen tonight, and you're going to take a loss. You already took it. There's nothing else that you that would hinder or hurt what you're doing. So I believe in what you do, and keep it up, because I what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. I thank you. First, thank you for saying that. And I just want to see more. I just want to see more, like more money donated,
Mm-hmm.
or more grants given for for music. It just takes so much. Like it takes so much to start everything. Your album, your promotion, and the internet has changed how so much stuff, how promotion, how we receive media.
I was gonna say that too, because Philly was one of those cities where, like, it's the music industry was huge, like, you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
What I've noticed over the years, they're trying to take music away, and that's one thing. Like, taking it out of the school. I remember at one, you had to play an instrument in schools and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I'm right with you. That's
Hmm.
actually why I do what I do and help other artists. I wish that, once I get to a certain platform, I will be creating and trying to bring up, other artists that don't get hurt. Of course, you're going to get people that, that's popular in the city, but my goal is to bring up somebody that nobody ever heard of or everybody thought chance. So I'm right with you. And what I can promise you, if I do make it, I am going to go to the city and try to start the music. I promise that. I heard it here first.
That is all. I think that is awesome, and I think it is great to hear from. I think that another thing too is that we often, artists or people that are in the entertainment industry, we look at like people that have already been established and made it so well
Yeah.
as the face of music, but we don't look at who is already around us, and like you need to get to that level first
Right.
and look at that. You need to look at, the people that are around you or who you're with, and look at what they're doing, and look, because they have a lot of knowledge actually to offer you. And as I do this, I learn a lot from artists like you and a lot of people. So
Yeah. Believe it or not, like, the people that aren't seen like that know the most information. I've learned a lot of things from just musicians that they might play for Wiz Khalifa, Diddy. I work with artists that drummers, guitarists that really like tour, but they'll come back once you see how hard they are, and it's just like, yeah, like damn, you was just performing. Oh, got his name Boots, um, and he been on tour with Jay-Z and Diddy, but he loves working with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things to learn. Like, it's not, it's glamour. It's what you know and who you know. But a lot of these musicians, and it's so crazy, they get in the churches and stuff like that. A lot of this,
yeah.
they come from the church. Like, I literally had to learn that on the journey. What's the music scene. And that's what changed how I perform, stuff like that. just learning from, different artists and stuff like that, just on the come up.
Yeah. And people are also looking at some artists and like not knowing that that artist might be solo, but it's like a 10-person team behind that person making all that stuff happen.
Oh,
Making all that stuff happen.
oh.
Like,
So, yeah, I used to be like that. I used to see who was one of the artists? Like artists like Kanye. I used to always be like, damn, like how the hell he created this? Like, what was he thinking? Like, how? And then you look at the credits and it's 10 people on one song. And it's just like, oh.
exactly. This is
So,
the work of 10 people, and
like,
as independent artists is left to do the work of 10 people.
yeah, yeah, it's so crazy. Like, you'll think somebody like, they've done everything by themselves, but it's all every great artist is I will say that.
Yeah. So before I wrap everything up, is there anything else that you wanted to add, and also tell people, for anyone that just came in, where they can find you?
Yeah, shout myself is Zigg the artist on everything. Follow me on social media, Google, YouTube, Spotify, all the good stuff. And yeah, whoever's watching, if you are an artist, just be yourself. Love what you do. And once you love what you do, nobody can stop.
Awesome. And I hope to one day somehow me and you will work either together behind the scenes or on a track
Yeah,
or something.
we let me. I'm alright. All you gotta just give me the word. I'm alright. I love it. Even if it's like not like up front, like in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That's all I can literally do.
That's how you. Great. Well, I had a really good time interviewing you. I want to thank you, Zigg the artist, or thank you, Zigg,
Thank you.
for doing this interview with me. I want to thank all the viewers and all the supporters and everybody who watched and all the watchers. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and I want to tell everybody, go to YouTube and search the Indie Spotlight Philly. Like, share, comment, review, and subscribe. You can watch all of the interviews. Even you can watch the interview.
All right, bet. I'm definitely going in. I'm gonna subscribe. You all right?
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All
Have a
right.
great night.
You too.